actually reported us to CPS, they're well-intentioned. They actually really think that we're creating harm, and this is the world that we live in, right? And so the way I see it is this person actually probably needs the most help. And so there's no resistance to that. There's no hurt or hate or pushback or revenge or anything like that. I figure like we got to point our energy at productive things.
Okay.
But not for a second did I think, oh, you're going to take my kids from me.
Wow.
It's
scary though. But yeah, I'm sorry you guys went through that. But
what was that?
I have no clue.
That was the
penis.
It sucked it back in, bro.
What the fuck?
It's fresh again.
That's a Primal Jar sound, by the way.
It is literally this.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
It's sucking in and out. That penis is breathing, liver.
I gotta pee again.
Shooting a
I've been
load.
drinking so much coffee. I gotta pee again. I'll be back.
Yeah, so
And we sell prostate. I'm gonna send you a bottle of Ancestral Supplements prostate.
so is there any other kind of unexpected consequence of your newfound fame? Or I don't know how newfound it is, but I think in the recent past year, you've really exploded. Has there been any other unforeseen consequence
It was really
of that?
wild. It has been. It's been exciting as hell. It's been an adventure. As you know, it was about a year ago when you guys reached out, Impulsive reached out, the Full Send Nelk Boys, and Joe. It was like all at one time.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere. And we never had a social media account. No Facebook, no MySpace, nothing. And so one day we said, hey, if we're going to take this message mainstream, this is what we got to do. We've had enough visitors come over to say, you got to put yourself on social media. I'm like, why would I do that? I live a pretty good life. Why would I want to do that? And they said, listen, because you don't have to change anything. This is passive income, right? You just live your life and we'll passively record what you do. And I said, okay, well, hey, fuck it, we'll try it.
You're really good at it, though. You're a showman. Did you know that about yourself? You're like a natural entertainer and showman. Like everything you do is so theatrical, or just like you're really good on the camera. You disagree? You don't know that about yourself?
You know what I know is that I never wanted to get in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Again, I loved the life that I had before that, and the thought of doing what we're doing right now was crippling. I've never wanted to invite any of this stuff.
Yeah.
So for you to say, hey, you're a showman, I'll tell you.
You are.
When I
You're
first
really
started
good
going
at
on,
it.
thank you for saying so.
Yeah, no.
I'll say I've sharpened that sword, and I hope when we do part 2, it'll be like, hey man, this was even more valuable, this exchange. So I'll say any other unintended consequences, it's a little bit tough. We can't just go for a walk.
Sure.
It's wild. You literally just can't.
You're very unique looking. You don't wear a shirt.
It's a problem.
You stick out,
It's a problem. And then you know what I recently have started to do, because I just want to hang out with my family, and so what we do. So now when we'll go to a fight, because this is what we want to go do. We want to go to a fight, right? We go to fights, and then we'll stay for all the camera guys leave. We stay for a day or two just to do family stuff. All I want to do is be with my family. And then it's, hey, Liver King, pictures. And then it's nonstop. Unintended consequence, absolutely. Is it validation that this message is getting out? And then I bring the Liver Boys in. And then I have the Liver Boys start talking to girls, right? I'm like, all of this is going to be a lesson, and we're all going to get even more value out of this.
You don't want to put a pump cover on and just go incognito every now and
So
then?
this is what I do. I put on this shirt. This is my disguise and a hoodie. It's a hoodie and a shirt.
It probably helps a lot, right?
It helps a lot.
Yeah.
But what's wild is it happens. It still happens.
Yeah.
And then 1 or 2 people start to line up, and then they start talking. The other people don't even know who it is. People start to line up just because they see people taking pictures. So then I say to them, do you even know who I am?
Yeah.
And if you have no idea, hey, guess what? I'm just going to be with my family today.
Yeah.
If you know that it's the liver guy, or some people say the liver god.
Liver god? Yeah, that's appropriate.
We start cracking up, hey, it's the Liver King because liver is king. If you don't remember anything else from this 5-second interaction, the name is Liver King because liver is king. Eat liver. Get that in your life. It'll change your life. And so we'll take a picture. Don't forget this interaction. We were meant. And so I'll embrace that.
Yeah.
Unintended consequence, that's probably the biggest one.
I see. Yeah, that's a big deal. But this explosion of fame on social media has probably been extremely good for your business, eh?
I don't know. I have quite a few businesses. And so all I knew is this. I'm going to go on social media to be the CEO of the Ancestral Lifestyle. I formed a new company. It's the Liver King Company. All we focus on is getting the best message out. So the way that we measure value, right, and I think that we can agree that the value that we create in the world is people pay for value with time, money, or both, right? And so if we can improve our impressions and improve followership, if we can start to figure out that the message is getting out, if we can go out in public and people are like, hey, Liver King, it's like, guess what? We're doing our job. And so we get about 250 million impressions a month now.
What, on TikTok?
Across platforms.
Across platforms? That's a lot. That's a lot of...
Yeah. And I don't know what you'd pay for that if you were trying to pay for that with
a lot.
Pay for clicks.
You can't really pay for that because like native when it's happening organically, it's entirely different.
It's more valuable.
It's way more valuable than just like paying for it.
So you were independently wealthy before the whole supplement thing started? Is the supplement a new business?
Dude, have you not heard about how I made my money?
No, I haven't.
How'd you make your money?
You really don't, because people
I want to
think
get
it's the funniest thing.
But I want to get the timeline right. So were you, when your kids got sick, were you already wealthy by then? What were you doing at the time?
I don't know if you would call it. When we met, we were both pretty high revenue earners. We were making about $500,000-$600,000 a year when we met.
What were you guys doing?
My wife was
In
a
Texas
dentist
too, so it's like that, it goes a long way, right?
Wow.
Yeah,
That's incredible. What were you doing?
I was into device sales at the time.
Okay.
Medical device sales.
Medical device?
That's what I
Okay.
was into.
So you have you're an MD? Whoa, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Smart.
Drink a lot of blood. Use the restroom.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Smart lady.
Because she chose me?
That's the pound. Yeah.
But you know what? I hopefully we'll talk about this later, but we attract a complementary opposite in life. Right? This is what I believe. And so when we met, we were doing pretty well for ourselves. And then we immediately said, well, let's get into business. She was working for another dentist. She goes, hey, I don't want to do that no more. Let's start a business. So we started a business. We bought a practice. And then I saw how much we were outsourcing. We were sending millions of dollars of revenue by referring people out. So we're not doing that anymore. We're going to bring all that in-house. We're sending millions of dollars to dental labs. Guess what? We're not doing that. We're starting a dental lab.
So when someone would come and they needed like a gum surgery, you would refer them to a gum specialist, right?
When we first started.
And so you say, well, let's hire the gum specialist.
Everybody came in-house. We had every discipline of dentistry in-house.
Wow.
If somebody needed oral surgery, guess what you had to do? You had to send them out to an imaging center.
Yeah.
So now we're buying a CAT scan machine. Now we're buying. Now we open up an imaging center. So we have this comprehensive center of dentistry.
Wow.
The continuity of care was uncompromising.
Vertical integration.
It was vertically integrated. And again, but the coolest thing is the quality of care went through the roof. I can't tell you how many times she would send someone out to the oral surgeon. Oral surgeon would send them back. They're pointing the finger. Ain't nobody can find the
no good
radiograph.
communication.
It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Now it's under one roof. Guess what? Accountability is right here.
So are you guys still in that business?
No.
Oh, you probably sold that
that's ancient
business.
history. What she said, and so I would say about 2 or 3 years after we got married, we had kids right away. So what we figured out is our kids are sick. And then we got our kids healthy. And then what ends up happening in this business is she realizes, guess what? I'm not really helping people. I'm kind of putting Band-Aids on things. We really need to counsel them in nutrition. Guess what? You go to your dentist with a cavity or you need a crown, you think you want your dentist to tell you, go eat liver, bone marrow, egg yolks, get some sun?
Yeah.
You're gonna think she's fucking crazy.
Yeah, probably.
Well, it's the difference between trying to tackle the symptoms and trying to fix the underlying cause.
The root cause.
This is something that I also agree with. People get mad at me when I say this, but like, this is why I value physical therapy over pain management, because in America, especially, what people are focused on doing as a consequence of all the pharma lobbying and all the money that is like put into specific industries is just to engage in pain management. But if you don't actually tackle, like if you have an injury or if you have some kind of hypertrophy or some kind of like
I gotta pee.
Imbalance,
I'm dying.
everybody's peeing. If you have some kind of imbalance,
Just pee in your
that
pants,
is going to is that primal?
I would say that's pretty goddamn primal.
Yeah, peeing in your pants.
I mean, I hardly use the toilet. I go outside.
So wait,
I use
hold
my
on.
favorite
So
treat.
we got eating dick, eating balls, peeing in your pants. Those are the primal.
I mean, how weird is it? You go over to that bucket over there, and you go put.
I think it's pretty. I will admit, sewage systems and clean water, pretty fucking good. As far
You like it.
As far as like advancements in humanity.
Have you ever taken a shit outside in the woods?
Yes.
And how
Oh,
did
yeah.
that make you feel?
Fucking awful.
Awful.
Awful because I did a 21-day survival training camp.
Oh hell yeah.
And it was leave no trace principle. So it was literally like we didn't even have toilet paper. For those of you who don't know, the Canadian maple tree leaf is one of the best for wiping your ass when you're in the wild and you don't have toilet paper because it's got like high surface.
What did you eat over
area.
the 21 days?
We had a lot of like MRE style stuff. Like we didn't hunt or anything like that. So it was terrible.
But I'll tell you, if you took out all of the fiber, you take one crispy royal chip,
I've heard you say this. I wanted to ask you about that.
and guess you don't need to wipe.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm a
do.
bidet boy. I grew up in Turkey, and on that side of the world,
Yeah.
we all have bidets. Like every toilet has a bidet in it, unless it's one of those.
Have you
hole
seen
in
the
ground
fancy
ones.
hotel you guys put me up? Have you seen those Japanese toilets? They
Totoro
sense
or
when you're
whatever.
coming close. The lid starts opening. I rip it off every time because that lid ain't ready for me. Tell her. She'll tell you.
You
she
need
walks
to-
into the bathroom. I don't care how much they're gonna bill you guys for the damage.
No.
You will never ever come into my suite. I rip the lid off every
You've never
time.
had the butthole pleasures of a bidet? It's excellent. And it's
To each
primal.
their own. You like
People
butthole
use it.
pleasures?
People-
Good on you.
People use that in the other people use that in other sides of the planet and have been using it for centuries. I highly recommend it. That is one thing. If you're the evangelist of liver,
Yeah.
I'm the bidet guy.
I love it.
I'm the
Okay.
bidet king.
All right. But to your point, there's something to say about treating the root cause. You got to treat the symptom, the acute medicine. But how fucking dare you to not address the root cause?
Yeah,
right?
no, I think that's bad. That's why I believe in, I value physical therapy a lot more, I would say, than
Instead of
pain
just
management. Because like
riding that shit.
if you don't fix the imbalance, or if you don't do the proper exercises to ensure that you have muscles that are supposed to be there working against the other muscles that are overdeveloped, you're always going to keep running into that same injury over and over again. And a lot of people, instead of trying to fix that injury, will immediately go to the pain management route.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I think like fixing the root cause is important. So I agree with you, even though that is a much more comprehensive and over the course of many years type of solution. So making good choices, making healthy choices, developing healthy habits is something I'm totally on board with.
So this is what happens in dentistry is like from a holistic approach, he's like, okay, we're going to help people holistically with nutrition and with the treatments. And we did that for a little while. And then she said, hey, guess what? I'm done. Because we've outsourced our most important job, raising our kids. Our kids are gone 8 hours a day. She lives when it's dark out. She comes home when it's dark out.
Yeah.
She would actually drive home to a park to cry so we wouldn't see her. And then she would come home, so we didn't see her cry.
Yeah.
And after doing that enough times, she goes, I'm done. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And she goes, no, I'm done. I'm never doing dentistry again. I'm like, you realize that we bought this building, it's like $5 million. Let me, are you sure we're done? Because she's like, no, I'm done. And you know what that does to me? Like at first I'm like,
You're like, I'm about to sell some way more medical supplies that are about to be sold.
well, at this point, I'm all in as an entrepreneur
okay.
for a couple of years. But what I end up doing is, I figure this out. And this is why I always say that your woman needs to know that your man can protect you in a dark alley. And then people call me chauvinist because they think it's about physical strength. And I'm talking about the figurative strength here, right? We talked about the literal and figurative implication here because guess what? The financial crisis is coming and it came, right? The medical crisis, these are coming, right? Crisis will happen in life. This is life. Your woman needs to know that your man is going to fight, that you're going to claw your way through any problem that you find yourself in. And so this is what it does to me. Like, this is another rite of passage. I got to figure this out. And so I figured it out, right? And so I want you guys to know how I really made my money. And so I hold 14 patents on a fitness device. And I still collect royalties to this day, surprisingly.
What's the fitness device?
Have you guys heard of the Shake Weight?
No, you're fucking with me.
Shake weight patent
Nah, you're
holder?
fucking
Look
with
at it,
me.
Google it.
Shut
Google,
the
someone
fuck up.
Someone fact check that.
No way.
Yeah.
You're fucking
You
with
invented
me.
the shake
I
weight?
mean, I'm so glad. You know what? This is all completely made up. I didn't. The Shake
Yeah.
Weight's made up.
Oh,
but
I
everything else I
fucking
said
knew
was true.
Right there.
I knew it. I was like, I don't see you using any shake weight.
But here's the thing, you guys. Okay, just for the record, you said you wanted me to come on and say I was a CPA, and that's how I made my money. So I'm like, how do I compete?
Wait, is
I
that
didn't
what
say that.
Oh, pull that shit up then. You said, hey, wouldn't it be really funny if he came on and we found out he made his money? He's like a fucking CPA or something.
That probably was me.
It's a joke.
I use
Of
CPA
course
as
it was a
all
joke,
the
but
time.
I laughed so hard and I said, how do I compete with that? Oh, here's
I
what
The
they might-
shake
what
weight?
they
Yeah,
might
no,
look-
that was good. That was
Listen,
good.
everything I said prior to that 100% is on point. And so what I end up doing is
Have you ever used the shake weight?
Oh, I love it.
We have one here.
Oh, no, you don't, really?
Wait,
Yeah.
so hold on. You guys, So how?
Oh, he does have the shake weight.
Yeah, is Liver King? Does it have copyright Liver King on it? Here, let's see Liver King. Let me see you
I've
shake
never
that.
used
I'm
a
not
shake
touching
weight.
that.
Really?
I've never used a shake.
Okay, you can use it.
Wait, let me try.
I wonder
never
how many
used
shake
them
weights we're
before.
gonna sell from this
So
episode.
what is it like?
You just jack it off, baby. Two hands.
Is it like forearm? Oh, I mean, I guess it like works your.
Let's see you work that thing, Liver.
Listen, we've already sold it. We better get some royalties from the shake weight now.
Yeah. So, but you guys were hugely invested in this dental practice. How many employees did you guys have?
30.
You had 30 employees, and these are doctors, specialists. So that's a huge bill.
Yeah, so now it's time to sell. It's time to really
You guys-
mitigate the damage.
You sold the business.
Yeah, it was probably about broke even. But when I say
Okay.
we broke even, at the end of it, we still walked away with a $6 million business, right? Which we still own today, which we still rent out.
Oh, okay, interesting.
And that's great. So we knew that we would be okay forever just on that. But
Liver
again,
landlord, commercial real estate.
but the big thing there was like, okay, I started writing a book, and the book sort of parlayed into the first nutrition supplement. And I wrote a thesis on chemical compositions and the biochemical processes of human nutrition. I was like, okay, I know something about this. And then it's specialized in the sport supplements. So then it make maybe a little sense that maybe I would get into supplements. And so I figured out, okay, here's how we rescued our kids. And then here's how we really got them to thrive. By taking off the sunblock, by taking off the shirt, by taking off the shoes, connecting to the earth, right? Comfort's not good for the organism. Creating this resistance in their lives where we can develop these adaptations of strength where we can express more, right? Putting down the phone, talking about these things, bonding with each other. Like, okay, when you figure out that this is how you can get your kids healthy, you understand this is your obligation in life. What kind of piece of shit would I be if I didn't share this message with the world?
Of course, sure.
So I started writing this book on that, and I said, you know what I'm going to do to get more traction? I'm going to start a company that sells these 9 ancestral tenets. And you come to my company with high blood pressure, how much you want to bet? My product expert is going to tell you what you need to do is take off your shirt, get some midday sun, take off your shoes, connect with the earth. These are evidence-based ways to lower your blood pressure. And they're thinking, the customer's thinking, what are you going to sell me on? What am I going to buy? If you unequivocally take care of people and they see the benefit from it, they're a customer for life.
But so it seems that you guys are pretty comfortable. I mean, you
We're doing
chartered a private jet, or
Wait,
well,
what?
it was us or you or somebody.
Wait,
But
are you joking or serious?
I'm dead serious. And then, but obviously you guys
you
are
guys
doing well.
paid for the
no,
jet,
we
right?
paid. Yeah, we paid for it.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Oh,
so
like, oh my God, because that's why I said
That
it
was
wasn't
really
3
expensive.
in the video because
Yeah.
somebody sent it, and actually
You just get on it.
There's this other really big podcast that we're doing, and I thought it was them who paid for it all, and I was like,
they don't have money like we do.
I was
Yeah.
gonna be such an asshole if I got that wrong.
I'm
But
sad.
here's the deal: we
So
from a
did
financial standpoint,
you made your big bucks from these guys here?
the financial transaction, the value happens with these 9 ancestral tenets, right? The financial transaction takes place when you buy the supplements from Ancestral Supplements or from Heart and Soil or from thefittest.com.
So how did you find clients? Because you were a dentist, you weren't Liver King at the time. So how did you start selling this stuff?
People pay for value, right?
So, but how do you find the people? That's got to be a hard part of starting a business,
I
right?
think you went viral first, and then you
Oh,
started.
no. Yeah, you're completely incorrect about that.
You were way
I just went
before.
viral. We started
Yeah.
this in 2016. So in 2016, we started this. By 2017, we did 7 million just with one company.
How? How do you find the
No,
people?
how did people find
Yeah.
out about Liver King or the
I'm
Liver
telling
Stuff?
you.
How'd they find him?
I'm telling you.
Okay.
I made a website. It was called ancestralsupplements.com. I did it myself, ground up. I did it like in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You know, and then it resonated. People would start searching articles. How do I fix my high blood pressure? They read the article. Oh, you take off your shoes, you get sun.
So were you guys doing like SEO, PPC? Were you buying ads,
Yeah,
stuff
people
like
talk
that?
about all this fancy shit. You know, at the end of the day, when you provide real empirical value, people pay for that shit. You can call it
So
SEO.
so you're saying it was a
I didn't do any of the
if you
bells and-
build it, they will come situation.
That's right. That's right. And so we doubled in revenue, and now we're doing $100 million a year across
Wow.
three companies. And we're just
Jesus
getting started.
Christ, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, no wonder y'all. Damn. Okay. Pays a little bit better than dentistry, doesn't it? Yeah.
But again, at the end of the day, what's happening is here's we talked about this from the beginning. People really are hurting. A lot of people hate the lives that they're living in. People are suffering with such desperate chronic conditions. They know they're meant for more. They don't know how to achieve more. I got this really simple, elegant solution. I call it ancestral living, right? You can start doing these things today, and it will change your life tomorrow. And most of it costs nothing. So this is what we're championing in the world. We just went on social media a year ago. And how is that impacted by
That's got to have
businesses?
been huge on your businesses. Come on, be real.
I don't
with me.
know.
What?
I really, I don't know.
I mean, you say you're making 100 mil this year, but how much were you making before you went viral?
So we grow by about 30 to 40%. Every company grows by about that percent every year. We're still on track to do that. No better, no worse. And you know how much promotion and plug-in we do. To date, we had some fun. I'm so glad we talked about ancestral supplements because you know what's happening.